This is my review on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero, Season 1, Episode 6. It's called Breakout Part 1, and there's a two-part epic episode of when the Avengers first finally come together. It's pretty awesome. Both episode part 1 and part 2 tells story of how the Avengers in the show first encountered each other and came together as a team. All the episodes before it was standalone episodes building up to this moment of the Avengers becoming the Avengers and coming up with the name, getting the name, and becoming a team and working together. It all happens in this two-part episode, and it does it fairly well. But I think it's about and it was strange because I'm checking both episodes are part 1 is 24 minutes of breakout, and the other one's the same exact minute. It's 24 minutes. Part 2, and I guess this is what I like about this is when I have decided when I saw the breakout. I remember when I first saw the breakout when it aired part 1. I kind of had a feeling this is gonna be once I saw both two parts back to back the next week of when the episodes would air on cable, on TV. There were new episodes every once a week on Disney XD, which was where the show aired on originally. And this is my favorite thing that Disney has ever come out with because, well, it's the Avengers, Marvel's Avengers. So what I like about part 1, part 2, in the first part, it reintroduces you and lets you get to know these characters before they meet up with each other. Just in case you have chances, in this case, the chances are you just want to skip ahead, in this case, you didn't saw the previous episodes when they introduce your personalities and show them, they introduced their personalities in past episodes, but in this case you didn't see them. They reintroduced them again. But not the episodes focus on one Avenger. It focuses on all of them. And I think Hulk, Bruce Banner's Hulk, Bruce Banner and Hulk get the probably the most developed and changed the most because in this two-part epic, so he goes from being this guy who's so used to be neglected and feared and hated, and just being a miserable person. The Hulk Hulk and Bruce Banner used to feeling that too, but Hulk's a lot more sick of it, even though he keeps on helping people and trying to be able to prove that he's not a dangerous person. He proves that he's trying to prove himself that he's not a monster. So what? Yeah. So So when he gets help from these other heroes, he's so shocked and frankly seems touched actually that people actually want to don't, because he's not used to getting. He's used to the Hulk's not used to getting help or having a lots of friends and people who that doesn't really happen. That's really what really happens to Hulk in the comics and in the cartoon. And I really feel like how he This is another reason why this is my favorite Hulk and also my favorite Avengers adaptation, because it's also my favorite Hulk show, also as well, because it shows the best character arc that Hulk went for in the comics was becoming a solo act to a team player, a Avenger, and like in the comics, like all of the Avengers fear him because they think he's a evil bad dude, and when they see him actually smashing the and helping the them all out and smashing the bad guy, he's like they are all like shocked. Holy shit, is that the Hulk? Isn't he supposed to be like the bad guy? So I really like the part. I'm just going to review both the part 1 and part 2 of the breakdown in this one video because I can't talk about how much I don't think I could do more just if I did it in a separate video. So this is my review on episode 6 and episode 7 of the breakout. So it opens up with Thor actually actually doesn't with Thor. It cuts to continues developing each Avengers member. So Iron Man is getting back his tech, Tony Stark's tech, and Tony's getting his Iron Man, his tech that he made for Iron Man, his Iron Man suit from Hydra back, and then he brings those Hydra agents to S.H.I.E.L.D. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agent asks Iron Man if he could help him for security because they have a problem with the prison, and he says, "Okay, I'm sure whatever it can wait." They just phone Pepper and because I have somewhere to be. He has to be in a Stark meeting as any minute, so it's not like he doesn't want to. It's like he doesn't really have time because he's and plus he doesn't know. Ant-Man's talking. Ant-Man's talking to this Hydra agent. Wasp is talking to this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, saying she says how she wants to make a difference, want to help more with S.H.I.E.L.D. and make a difference, and wants to do more with S.H.I.E.L.D. and help make a difference. And when she asks who's that, and she sees Black Bolt, and Joyce gets all uptight and says that's classified information, and she says, that's when Wasp starts to have second thoughts about helping S.H.I.E.L.D. out more and becoming a S.H.I.E.L.D. member. Then when Hank Pym's talking to one of his patients, that used to be the leader of Hydra at some point, with this Mr. Young, but he has this robot guy that can drain people's life and bring back his strength and youth. So anyway, Hank Pym is like Hank Pym, and the Wasp is Jan Van Dyne's Wasp, not the Wasp, not the characters that did not the second Next Gen Wasp or the Next Gen Ant-Man that went straight to play the Next Gen Ant-Man and the Wasp and decided to develop them before developing the OG Wasp and Ant-Man as heroes in the MCU, stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe and the main continuity of that universe. So yeah, this is technically a different Ant-Man. Legally, his first name is this is a different Ant-Man and Wasp. This is a Ant-Man and a Wasp has never been got the superhero big budget treatment in live action for standalone films. So yeah, and in case you think I'm getting that, if I'm missing one, I have seen the movie Ant-Man and also the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp, titled Ant-Man and the Wasp, and also the first movie we call Ant-Man. But those are different characters of Wasp and Ant-Man, because neither one of them are named Janet Van Dyne. The Wasp is not Janet Van Dyne, it's Janet Van Dyne's daughter who's the Wasp in the in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's Scott Lang, not Hank Pym, who is the Ant-Man in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp, and also the movie Ant-Man, when he takes on the mantle of Ant-Man. So yeah, so I'm telling you right about this. So anyway, I just want to avoid confusion for the audience, so gotta explain this so as much as I can in a brief amount of time, and as quick as I need to be so well as being quick at the same time without taking too much time on the video. So sorry. Okay, so anyway, Ant-Man, who is Hank Pym in this, Hank, as an Ant, also known as Ant-Man, is talking to his hydration, and he's asking him a question. Who is also Ant-Man's patient in the Cube prison? Prison's called the Cube, and it's a shield prison. And also there's 3 others, and all 4 of those prisons are the most dangerous, the most secure high-tech prison. Not the most dangerous, the most secure high-tech prison on the planet, where they both keep the most dangerous people. Yeah, so, and because the public thinks that Hulk's a monster and a dangerous threat, and also and also a villain, every time when people encounter the Hulk, is usually people end up firing at the Hulk and attacking him, and he's just trying to defend himself and mind his own business. So that's usually what Hulk goes through on a daily basis, and yeah, people end up firing on him for no reason, just because of the way he looks. Not because he did anything wrong, but no, just because of the way he looks. Big, muscular, and green. And because nobody, the public doesn't know this, so the other heroes don't know about that over Hulk, that he actually is really a hero, and he tries to do the right thing, and whenever he has the opportunity, he does the right thing, and saves his life whenever he sees the moment, because he can't stop himself from being the hero, even though he has considered walking away many of times and doesn't like it when being the hero, because he actually ends up getting shit on in attack. Or almost getting murdered multiple times. So, yeah. So anyway, Ant-Man's asking this patient who's a hydration, asking, he says something's going to go down. Something's going to go down in this prison. What is it? And the hydration says, not what, but when. When he finds out what it is, it's too late what goes down, and what's going down is the breakout of all 4 prisons. That takes place in a 2-part epic episode called The Breakout. Both Part 1 and Part 2 is called Breakout. Of both. So anyway, Bruce Banner is as he's he's all locked up in chains and stuff, and he's getting his blood samples of his getting his blood drawn on a daily basis. So she was playing samples to make an army, and his friends think that they're just trying to cure him, and he tries to tell the his friend he has told his friend in the past the Hulk doesn't want to be cured, and he believes there's a place in the world for the Hulk in this world. Bruce Banner believes that. So, and this was when he actually gave everyone trying to kill the Hulk, because he decided to have a conversation with the Hulk, because they are 2 different people, and even though they share the same mind, they're literally two different people with two different identities, and when one's controlling the other, one's behind the steering wheel of the body, the other one has no control over the other person, although they do communicate in each other's head and talk to each other, and communicate to each other. No matter who's behind the steering wheel of the body. He tries to also tell his friend that the shield is lying to you, and I believe the shield's lying to you. If the literally, I've seen this before. They will twist everything you have done and worked hard off. I've seen it many times before it happened. I've seen it happen with many people have done this before, and shield's not the only person that he's seen it done that does this. So yeah, and then but his family really believes that that she wants to kill Bruce of the Hulk, and Ben knows better that Hulk is going to be turned into a weapon. With Hulk, they want to make an army of Hulks for Shield's own God knows what agenda is. So so that's what Shield wants. Brandon doesn't want Shield to go. Brandon knows that that's a bad idea, having an army of Hulk. So it just sounds bad. He just knows that's just asking for trouble. So anyway, some reason the Shield helicopter Nick Fury and Avengers Shieldism Maria Hill's on is going down, and it got sabotaged somehow because I don't know, someone's responsible for all, and then all four breakouts for each prison. All four prisons get out of control, and prisoners become loose, all of them, and the prisoners start taking over the prisons, and for example, when Hulk's in on Hawkeye is in that prisoners in, the prisoners start taking over the prison. Now, since this go out of control, Iron Man decides to turn right, fly back straight to the cube. But once he hears this distress call, something's off with the prison, something's wrong. The Shield agents, once he gets a distress call from a Shield agent saying the prison's out of control, and people are taking over the pillars because they're out of their cells, and a lot of people again cream the Shield is that the Shield is in that prison, the cube, which is so meanwhile in Banner's cell, some explosion goes off when Banner's in his cell and with his friend. The explosion goes off, and that breaks everyone free, and his friend gets exposed to gamma radiation. Banner says to his friend, we need to get to a hospital, and the Hulk right now is the only hope of controlling, of de-escalating the situation. So he friend realized that Shield he's right about Shield because the whole thing, because the whole riot is happening, and Bruce Banner said, well, the cube is literally a time bomb waiting to go off, and a nuclear bomb waiting to go off, and next thing you know, his friend gets exposed to nuclear radiation, gets superpowers, and then he as his friend's trying to lift up Bruce from rubble, and gets him free. This is when he's about to turn to the Hulk to save his friend and to de-escalate the situation of the whole prison riot. And meanwhile, Hawkeye breaks free from his cell, and tries to de-escalate the riot that's going on, all the prison riot, by make sure they don't get by try to contain the prisoners. And Iron Man comes to the prison, the Cube, the same prison that Hawkeye and Hulk's at, and they're trying to help. And he doesn't know that Hawkeye's not a villain. He tries to tell, wait, I'm not a villain. He says, wait a minute, I'm not. And then he starts firing at him before he can finish that sentence. Which when and then Iron Man just takes on this army of villains, and he gets a few good. He puts up quite a fight, but then he ends up getting cornered, and looks like he's not going to make it this one. And Hawkeye saves him with the explosive arrow and firing at the bad guys. And then he decides to make his escape route before, well, I guess Iron Man starts firing at him again. Before Iron Man gets up and starts firing at him again because, well, Iron Man just lets him go. Clint Barton, also known as Hawkeye, so that's the last we see him in this episode. Anyway, in Bruce's cell, meanwhile, in Bruce's cell, after Bruce gets free, then Zaz, which is Zaz, who is a Hulk villain in the comics, zaps his friend, and then continue zapping Bruce Banner when Bruce Banner stops, and then finally stops, but then the Hulk comes out and turns into a Hulk. And Hulk just, kicks Zaz's ass, and will try and save his friend and bring him to safety, and get him out of that prison before he seriously gets hurt as the Hulk. So Hulk is gets cornered by when one villain was barely enough for the Hulk. Well, this one villain was seemed enough for the Hulk. Then the Absorb Man decides to help Zaz, and now he has to fight two villains that he's fought before. The Hulk villains from comics, and Hulk just is looking like he's getting his ass whooped. He's putting up quite a good fight. Then he actually seems to see how his friends see how he's doing, and then they're going to start to looks like they're going to start to attack his friend. Then Hulk gets mad, and which gives the Hulk this severe adrenaline rush the more mad he gets, which makes him go faster and hit harder faster than ever before in the comics. And that's exactly what they worked in this cartoon and other cartoons before it. So unfortunately, none live action adaptations have worked this in except the Luke Ferrigno run of the Hulk. So that part of the character that he gets adrenaline if you give him a good enough reason to get really, really mad on his bad side, then he's going to cream your ass. And he gets such an adrenaline rush, and he just beats the crap out of his ass and his old man, and then makes his escape route with his friend, and brings his friend to safety to a bar that Hulk often passes by in the desert, and he tells to the diner, only in the diner. There's a diner in the desert who is a waitress says to ask Hulk asks for his friend to be taken care of by this waitress, and everyone else left the place when everyone else aborted. She was the one that stayed in the diner. Everyone else ran for their lives, but they saw the Hulk, and all Hulk wanted to do was someone to take care of his friend and keep an eye on him. So that's exactly what the waitress is going to do. Is going to take care of him and keep an eye on him. and also Hulk decides to talk to Bruce. Bruce Banner talks to Hulk in his head, and he says good Hulk, and he says the heroes are getting the asses. Well, look on TV. The heroes are getting the asses. Well, we could help them as the Hulk. This could prove to people that Hulk's not really a dangerous person. Person. It's not a threat to anybody. If you prove to those heroes that if you help them, they might realize that you're a hero, and that they won't stop the world will slowly stop seeing the Hulk is not a monster, but a hero. So Hulk is very hesitant because he doesn't want help for any of the other heroes because nobody ever helped him when he was in trouble. So he just thinks it's kind of unfair that he just thinks it's kind of a little asking much because nobody has ever helped him when he's ever got into a fight or when he needed it. So he doesn't really want to help. And then he says that he's thinking it over, and he decides, okay, I'll help them, but on one condition: you let me be Hulk from here on out without Bruce Banner. This Hulk from now on, and I get control of the body while being a hero. And